From an investor's perspective, how do you separate real corporate sustainability from just paying lip service, or greenwashing as it's called, right?
Well, I would argue that you can look really to one word to sort out corporate sustainability or corporate excellence from greenwashing and reputation management. The one word is consistency. If you look for consistency between a stated mission, the view of what is material to economic and profit outcomes, and then what is being looked to toward accountability, what is incentivized, consistency is the one thing that I would argue is the biggest support to sorting out signal from noise when it comes to corporate excellence. And I can give you Cornerstone's definition of corporate sustainability. Frankly, we do prefer the term corporate excellence, but as a definition, a systems level definition, we use the following. Corporate sustainability is the relentless pursuit of material progress towards a more regenerative and inclusive economy.
Greg, come in here and you've worked in Europe and now you're
yes.
based in New York. There is a perception, and correct me if I'm wrong, but U.S. companies are behind in this, at least in terms of reporting and in terms of sort of putting a structure around sustainability.
I mean, I think we clearly see less data reported by U.S. companies than we see in Europe. And I think there's a big push from the pension funds. You look at the Dutch Nordic pension funds, they've really pushed this down to their asset managers. As a result, I think there's more of a focus there. I think that being said, I think a number of investors in the U.S. understand these issues.
Erika, let's get into talking about companies that you like, companies that are doing it well, that come close at least to your definition.
Well, when we think about that definition, so the relentless pursuit of material progress towards a more regenerative and inclusive economy, when you think about that definition, companies are all over the map. Some are great at everything, some are pretty good at some things, and there is no single company that personifies perfection. In fact, the perfect is arguably the enemy of the good, if you talk to Aristotle anyway. But when you think about in the US, if you think about the Nikes and the Intels or the Goldman Sachs of the world, right? These companies are striving to share their priorities, their missions, their visions, right? And then be as transparent as they can be in how they're going to go about achieving them, all right? And I do consider that ability to be transparent critical. But then around the world, if you think about companies like BASF, if you think about Enel Industries, companies that are striving, given the industries in which they compete, companies that are striving to be as good as they can possibly be, as transparent, as consistent, and as effective at moving towards those things I talked about: incentivization, accountability, consistency, and transparency, and collaboration. So those are some of the characteristics that I think describe great companies.
Just to follow up on that, because I think transparency is really that key. It's getting that information out there, and then investors make their own decision, right? I mean, there's no one way to invest. There's no one way to look at integrating environmental, social, corporate governance issues. So as much as companies can be transparent, I think it helps this whole process.